questions below. We'll do our best to give you some value and help you out. Let me just pop this in here. Here he comes. Marion, can you hear me okay? Was the audio okay at the start?
So when I clicked on your live, I couldn't hear you, but then the moment I joined, I could.
Okay, so there's a delay. There's something buggy with Instagram. I've only seen it today on people's live streams that the start has no sound, but then it kicks in. So, or maybe
there's too many people.
The good luck. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing. There's so many people doing IG lives now. I love it. It's great. I love seeing people creating content.
Like I'll see it on my every time when I open my IG account. Like you don't even see stories anymore. It's just live.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let me see. So let me ask. So I'm collecting. I started a new channel called Preserving IG Lives for History. Kind of a mouthful, but the idea is that we're getting people's lives and we're saving them so that it doesn't disappear. Because the thing that frustrated me so much about IG Lives is they just go away. And it's like this great content that just disappears. So I wanted to save them. So we've got them up. Who are the ones that you see go live and you're looking forward to? You actually kind of watch a little bit. And I want to see if there's anybody that I need to add to my list of the people that you're watching.
So to be honest, this entire week, I don't think I've watched. So I watched.
Nobody.
Monday. No,
Okay.
I'm serious. I just went like all into like production and then figured out different things with my real estate business and things like that. So I made like a comment this Monday coming on. I said, no, you're not going to consume anything this week. You're either producing or focusing on different business activities. So I haven't watched any. Like I'm honest.
All right. Okay. I like it. So people watching, if there's somebody who you think that you'd like to see me preserve their IG lives, pop it down below, and I might add them to the list.
So it was a question like right before we closed the other one. What advice? I forget the name who asked it, but I'll shout the question. What advice would you give to your younger self? So this is a great question. A couple of advices that I would give to my younger self. Number one is invest in yourself as fast as possible. So that can be books, that can be podcasts, courses, coaching. So regardless where you are budget-wise, it doesn't matter if you have money to invest. If you don't, you can you go on Amazon and it's like $2 for a book, or you go on YouTube and consume more, but invest in yourself as soon as possible. Number two, be careful. This should be number one. Be careful who you surround yourself with, because that was a game changer for me. Like I thought about it about 10 years ago. I was in such a wrong circle, just doing dumb stuff, and that kept me down for a long time. And it was my choice, but I never thought about this whole thing of hey, be careful who you surround yourself with, because essentially you're the sum of the 5 people around you. So these two are the most important advice that I would give to my younger self. Is that allowed now?
Yeah, we got him. We got Teemo. Let's see if we can pull out a victory. I'm very excited. So we didn't talk about it on this stream, but I'm playing League of Legends. I'm trying to get the gold. While I do that, we do a Q&A show. You ask your questions. Marion will pick them. He answers, I answers, move on to the next question. Hopefully you guys give me some energy and love so that I can win this game and get to gold. Let's go. I think that I used to hate this question. What advice would you give your younger self? Because I don't think backwards. And I can't. If you gave me the opportunity to go back and talk to Evan at 18 or whatever, I'm not even sure I would take it, because maybe I take it and I change something, and then the world is now run by robots or something, right? I mean, or I'm dead. I don't know. I mean, the whole you change a little bit of history and everything changes, right? So I love where I'm at right now. and everything I went through got me to where I'm at. So even if I could, I don't know that I would. But first, I don't think that way because I used to hate the question because I can't go back and do it. Then when one of my podcasts, this is one of the most common questions I get asked on interviews and podcasts and all this stuff. And you can imagine when I'm doing a deal like today where I've got, I don't know, 11 different interviews and podcasts that I'm doing back to back to back to back, I get the question like 4 or 5 times a day. And on one of them, I realized, you know what? This is actually a fantastic question. One, because the only answer really should be whatever your one word is. So my most important core value is believe. I needed more belief. I would tell 18-year-old Evan, believe in yourself more. And then that leads to different decisions. That leads to invest in yourself. That leads to not hanging out with certain people. So it's always whatever your most important core value is, that's what you need more of. So that would be my kind of standard answer. But why I started to love this question is because 2090 Evan, coming back to talk to 2020 Evan, it's the same answer. It's still believe. Like 95-year-old Evan will come back and say, Evan, you just need to believe more. Believe's the problem, right? And so now it's actually practical. Yeah. I mean, the best answer is always going to be what your one word, because it's always ambitious. It's what you want to be. So what did you come up with as your one word? What was your one word?
Momentum.
No, what? Momentum. So like, here's the thing. You've got way more momentum than you did when you were 18 and you're hanging with the wrong people and all that stuff. But you know what? 2060 Marion is looking at 2020 Marion and saying, dude, like, get momentum. Go, man, go. Like, it's still the problem. And that's especially hard for achievers because other people would look at you and say, man, look at what you've done. You made it, dude. You're in America. You have your own business. You're helping people make money. Like, you're crushing it. Meanwhile, you're saying, I could do so much more than this. This is nothing, right? And the only thing missing for you is still momentum.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
And so now that question that I went from hating actually becomes highly practical. So when you figure out your one word, whether you're reading the book or you just figure it out on your own, awesome. It's still what you need. The message to your 18-year-old self is still the message that you need to hear right now today, just at a bigger level.
Yeah, that's so true. Never thought about that, but how do you deal with failed plans? The Pika asking, how do you deal with failed plans? So I always look for at least one thing that I can learn from so I don't repeat it. It's never a failed plan if I can learn something from it that can, save me, time or money or whatever in the future. So if I can learn one thing and if I don't repeat it, I never consider it a failed plan. If I don't learn from it and then I make the mistake the second time and the third time and whatever, well, at that point, I have to deal with myself. So the plan didn't fail. I failed if I repeat the mistake twice or 3 times or whatever. So that's how I look at things that let's say I plan for something and it doesn't go the way that I want it to. So for example, I did something to one of my real estate properties about 2 weeks ago. Nice. I did it wrong. I didn't pull a permit for it. The inspector came, shut down the whole house. The coronavirus thing came. The city hall closed. I'm not even able to pull a permit. So now I'm like stuck because I'm not able to do anything with it because you get one of those penalties that you're not able to do stuff unless you get a permit. So the city hall is closed. Who failed? I failed because I made a mistake. I made the choice. So, right? But if the next time I do something and I pull the permit and I do it right, it's not a failed plan, right? I could blame now the city and I said like, screw you guys, because now you're like closed and I'm not able to do it, or the commissioner is like a bad guy because he's not willing to give me a permit online and he's not willing to, right? But at the end of the day, it was my choice, so I made the wrong choice. So that's how I deal with it. The next time I have to make sure that I do it right. So that's a that's something, you know, if I do, if a month from now, the guy comes and he shuts me down again, then that's a failed plan. But if he's not able to come back and shut me down, well, at that point, I learned something from it, so it's not a failed one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I start by, I expect things to go wrong. I expect things to go wrong. I expect things not to work out the first time. I'm actually super patient. Like at the beginning of anything, I'm not patient with repeated errors, to Marion's point. But even when we launched our YouTube funnel, I expect something to be broken. I expect it. Now, Marion knows what he's doing, and I don't think we really had many issues. But I always expect issues. I expect it not to work.
Some like tech stuff, yeah. It was some tech things, but
nothing major. But I expect it. I expect it. I expect it not to work. I expect there to be bugs. I expect there to be issues, problems. Like that's when you launch anything, it's not going to work. Not as you have in your head. It has this beautiful, clear picture of how it's supposed to work, and then reality comes. And so I default to expecting things to break somewhere. What's most important is how do you just get back up and deal with it? What's the solution? Did you mess up with a customer that needs to be resolved? Did you learn that, hey, you have to get permits for your real estate deals? You know, like you don't make the same mistake again, right? And same thing for the people on your team that you're now guiding and mentoring. I have a lot of patience for first-time mistakes, a lot, but not so much patience for like third or fourth time mistakes on the same thing. Like, listen, we can't have this keep happening. We've talked about this. You're either like, we need to fix this, or this just isn't the thing for you. Like somebody's making the same mistake 5, 6 times. Like maybe they're just not in the right role and you need to move them on to something else. So I expect it. That makes it a lot easier. If you expect to be great and then you're not, that's a big toll on the ego. If you expect your first video on YouTube to be great and then it's not, that makes you feel like you don't want to do it again. So I expect it not to be great. And then I will reward myself for the effort. Like I'll look at it and say, hey, I tried really hard to do this. I'm proud of the effort I put in, and next time I'm going to get better. I think that's the only way to look at it. Like I think if you're beating yourself up saying I suck because I failed, all of your heroes failed on a much bigger level than you are right now. And that's what they do. They get up and they just keep going. That is going to be entrepreneurship every time. So it's a great muscle to start building right now. Yeah.
Super true. Gonkalok asked how to monetize a blog. So I wish it would be a little more specific, like what type of blog. Is it a travel blog? Is it you know, a marketing blog? Like what type of blog is it? Usually, you know, at first you have to build a list. Like, okay, it's cool, you have a blog. Do you have a way to collect emails? Do you have a way for people to opt in, right? To be able to send more and more. So there are a couple ways, in my opinion, that you can monetize a blog. Of course, it depends. It's different industry by industry. So essentially, if it's a travel blog, you can look at a few, of course, depending how big is the audience, depending how big the blog is, how much traffic you get to it. Are you able to get some emails? And then you can do a couple things. So number one, if you have a lot of information on like places to go, or a lot of reviews on restaurants and things like that, you can sell advertising spots, right? Like you can reach out if it's specific to, I don't know, let's say the Caribbeans, right? You can then reach out and say, and you have the numbers, right? Let's say you get, I don't know, 100,000 visitors every single month. Well, now you can actually screenshot that from Google Analytics or whatever tool you use, and then reach out to different hotels and villas and Airbnbs and things like that, and say, hey guys, I have a travel blog. I talk about all things Caribbean related, you know, the best beaches, the best restaurants, best bars, things like that. You reach out to all these places and you say, hey, I have a newsletter and my email list is, I don't know, 20,000 emails. and I send an email every single month, and every month I get an open rate of like 10%. So all these people are engaged. So how would you like to be part of my newsletter? And I do a blog review. I do a restaurant review on your property on your end. And it's going to cost you this amount if you do it monthly. It's going to cost you this. So you have to build in, the offer really well. You say, hey, I'm going to email it to my list. You get all these, you get access to all these traffic that's coming to my site, and I'm doing a review on this. So that's one way to monetize it, right? Another way to do it is if your blog is already big, you can then sell a mini course on how to grow a blog like that, right?
There it is. You got to bulletproof your business, guys.
But it's true, right? If you have a blog that has 100,000 visitors a month, and you get and your email list is like 10,000 email subscribers, I guarantee you that every person that launches a travel blog, and they want to get to that number. So if you get 100,000 hits on a monthly basis, you can just sell a course for like $27, and you can do the math, right? Even if you get just a 10% conversion, it's not that bad. Or you do a membership site, right? You can do a membership site where every month people can join. Like, think about this right now, just out of the blue. You do a monthly membership site for like, $17 a month or $7, something super cheap that people don't even would never think about canceling, because the entry level, it's like so low that they don't care. But they can always join a live Q&A and ask, what are the best beaches and the best restaurants and the best places in the Caribbean? Think about that, right? Like, just, hey, I wish, like right now, if, let's say, the whole travel situation gets back to normal in 3 months, and me and my wife want to go to Caribbean and we've never been there, let's say, I wish that I could do a Google search and say, hey, for like $7 a month, join live every 2 weeks, and you can ask your question or whatever. Like, you can send an email and support and all that. Or you get 2 emails a month with the best places that I've been at, and the entire review, and then places to go, right? That's another way to do it. So I don't want to take this question to like 2 hours, because I get excited about these things, so we can talk about a lot.
This is why he's got it. Listen, he's got a whole podcast on it. He's got a whole podcast. Go. I'm here. Can you not hear me? You got me?
It was just refreshing a little bit, so I don't know. Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
So Marion's got an entire podcast on this. Go check it out. So here's what I would take. I would because it feels like a kind of beginner question, which is awesome. I look at trying to classify as a different way. So it was a blog, right? How to make a blog?
How to monetize a blog.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So I would start with thinking, you want to become known as an expert at something. So what's your category going to be? Definitely start immediately building an email list, to Marion's point. So give them some kind of bonus that they get for free if they leave you their email address, and then you deliver giving them a kick-ass bonus. I would also put a Facebook pixel on the page so that you can start to remarket to those people later when you have something to sell. If you don't know what that means, it's very important. Just look up Facebook pixel, go make your own. Even if you have nothing to sell for the next 3 months or whatever, awesome. Don't worry about it. Just Google how to do it. Trust that it's actually going to be beneficial for you, and you'll thank us later when you realize the power of it, because you need to have the data to help you make the outreach to people. Next, I'd be looking at, in terms of business models, the easiest place to start is selling somebody else's product, so affiliate marketing. Ideally, it's something that you are using yourself. You found value with yourself. My biggest challenge personally with affiliate marketing for me to sell stuff is, if I haven't used it, I don't want to rep it. So there's tons of products that you can sell. I just don't feel comfortable repping products that I haven't actually leveraged and used myself. So that's a pretty high bar. You may not care as much. I don't know. Just personally, I don't like doing that. But it's an easy way to get started. So you have traffic. You don't need to create your own product yet because that takes time. So starting point is sell somebody else's product that you found value, that you would recommend to your mom if she had that problem, and start to create. Next, you sell access to you. So you're selling your time. I think before you get into a product, you should sell consulting. Sell an hour of your time. Help people. Because the best product that you're going to make is going to be around the things that people are already paying you to learn about. So you're an expert at, whatever, XYZ, great. You're creating content. People should be saying, hey, can I hire you? Do you do consulting? Right? Yep, we do. It's whatever an hour, right? That becomes your next starting point. And you're the expert at something specific. Some people will care about that and want your expert opinion, and they'll pay you for it. Then I would say courses, your own products, start digital. It's just a lot easier to get up, less expensive for sure than trying to launch your own product that requires physical shipping, physical manufacturing. A lot of people blow their entire savings out doing exactly that, and then you have 8,000 t-shirts that just sit there in your mom's basement because you couldn't sell anything, right? So start with digital. Then it can be potentially physical product, or you start charging more for your services. You do a mastermind. You're getting paid more for people to get limited exposure or limited access to you because your time has gone up and is more expensive. It could evolve to speaking gigs, brand deals, advertising. That's going to come as you scale your audience. That's definitely down the road, but it's hard to make money from advertising at the beginning if you don't have traffic. But affiliate deals, your own products, coaching, consulting, you could definitely make money off of with a really small audience because they know you, like you, trust you. When you get into the volume game, then you can look at volume deals like brand deals, speaking gigs, that kind of stuff. So that's an overview of your options as you build, scale, and grow. And if you're interested in doing that, I would highly encourage you to start to surround yourself with people like Marion and people who are talking about it, so that you're constantly kind of introducing that into your day. So you have Marion's podcast, you have Expert Secrets or Russell Brunson's content. Anybody who's talking about it, you want to be constantly educating yourself, be in that world. Because you might be the only one in your family who's kind of thinking about this, and people think you're nuts. You're gonna what? You're gonna talk about Caribbean, and you're gonna make money off of that, right? People think you're nuts. So, and it's hard to stay motivated and believe in yourself. But if you're around people like Marion talking about it all the time, you notice every answer Marion gives is around digital products and courses and funnels. It's the way he sees the world, which is awesome. It's like, it's what you need more of right now. You need more of that. And there's not enough people in your life who think that same way. So you may not, Marion's not taking mentorship training to go be an intern for him. So the next best thing is listen to his podcast, watch his Instagram, and pick a couple other mentors as well to learn from, so that it's constantly in the back of your head. You're constantly learning and getting better, and they'll force you to become a better student.
And by the way, guys, if you try to be as specific, we said that in the last video, but not in this one. Try to be as specific as possible with the questions so we can give you a specific answer. Because I wish I would knew exactly what this blog is about, so we can go actually into it. Ash asked, what is one thing that when you're doing it, you completely forget about time? Snorkeling with my wife in the
Caribbean.
in Aruba. Aruba actually, that's our favorite.
He loves the Caribbean. He's been holed up in Massachusetts for too long. He wants out.
Man, when I'm snorkeling, I'm like, I lose track. I usually go in for a couple hours, and when I'm out, I'm like, oh my, when you stay in water for too long, the way that your hands look like and your face.
You become old man, wrinkled.
Yeah. So every time when I go snorkeling, I forget about everything. Skiing, actually. So I never skied until last year. So I started to like that. Took a couple classes and stuff. You losing? What's happening?
We're winning. No, this one we're doing well. I got Teemo. We're winning. And so far, so good. Yeah,
You
yeah.
were
I mean,
doing something like this, and I was like, oh. What's
oh,
going on?
I took some damage, but we're coming back. No, I appreciate it. We're 10-15, so we're 15-10, so we're winning. It's not a given that we're going to win by any stretch, but I like the momentum to start. Momentum is the key word, right?
Let's go. Yeah, yeah. Hashtag.
For me, it would be helping entrepreneurs, man. Like even this, I don't even know what time it is. I started my I have a bunch of Facebook groups where I do, depending on what you do with me. So if you buy a book, you get access to my private Facebook group for readers. So for other people who bought the book, who want to build their movement. So just as an example, in that group, we met today. So this morning, I started my day with that group, and I answered their questions, and we took a poll beforehand to say, hey, what do you want everyone to talk about? And we had all these options for people, and I started with the most popular one. And it's scheduled to be a 25-minute call, and that's most of my Thursdays, is like all just 25-minute calls all day long. And I was shocked when it was over. Like, I could not believe. We went a little long, and I was shocked. I couldn't believe I had to rush to my next thing. Like, what happened? Are you kidding me? When I go and do speeches, I'll be 5 hours out in the hallway afterwards talking to people and not even notice. Like I might finish at 6, and then now it's 11, and like I'm one of the last ones there. Like, what just happened? I don't know. I just get lost in it. I think that's it can get borderline unhealthy when I don't look after myself, because in those 6 hours I forget to eat, I forget to go to the bathroom.
You get to drink your water.
I forget to have my giant jug of water with me. Dude, you got to brand those. I want to have my own, like, Marion branded jug of water. I think, yeah, there's something there.
I'll put some hashtag momentum sticker on it.
Yeah, momentum water. Drink this water, get momentum. I think it's great. I would drink that. I would do stories on that too. Anyway, I think it can be borderline obsessive and unhealthy if you take it to the extreme. So I've had to actually, because I would often get sick coming back from conferences and events, because it'd be 3 full days of just all day long meeting and helping people, and it's like the best of me. It's my favorite, but I then don't take care of my body enough. So apart from those situations, yeah, anything helping entrepreneurs is going to be my jam.
Love the passion. So I think you'll love this. Ismaili asks, how do you lead if you're not a lead?
I was just thinking, hold on, was it your class that I collapsed on the floor, the Thought Leadership Academy? Was that your group?
No.
Oh, was it? So there was
No.
one group, maybe it was a group before yours. Maybe it was a group before yours. Yeah, I think I did a better job with your group, just in terms of managing my energy. So when I do the Thought Leadership, I mean, I don't know if we're going to do another one, but when I did the Thought Leadership Academy, we did 4 of them, I think. It's everything. Like, I gave everything. I don't do anything. I'm not checking my social. I'm not checking with my team. And it's what, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or something, like every day for 3 days. And it's intense. I'm all in. It's all I can think about, all I can do. And I mean, I love it. It's the best of me. But then it's so insanely draining. And on one of the classes, I guess the one just before Marion's, on the last day before we went for dinner, I had a break for some reason. I think we designed it to give me a break at just before dinner. I had a like 40-minute break, and I passed out on the floor at TDS. It's like a dance studio, so like hardwood floor. I just sat down and then lay down and passed out. Because it was like, I'm done. I was just done. I had no more. I gave everything I had to the students. I had nothing left in my system. And I passed out and then woke up and we went for dinner. Yeah, just that's how intense it can get. And so we regulated my system a little bit better. I think Nina helped a lot. Yeah, this time. So it's like, don't do anything crazy, you know, look after yourself. So she was helping me do that. But yeah, Nina's been actually a big blessing since she joined the team full time. A good chunk of her role whenever I'm doing work with people is just making sure that I don't
taking care of you.
I don't die. Yeah, exactly.
I think you're gonna love this question. How do you lead? So Ismaili asked, how do you lead if you're not a leader? And if you don't have a leader, what steps do you take? So I think the question refers more like, how do you lead if you're not a leader, from a business standpoint, or from having a big social media following, or some, I guess that's what the question kind of goes towards. So I think it's just a matter of like understanding, like, for example, if you have a little brother or a little sister, you are a leader for that person. If, you know, your parents, you know, get older, you are a leader for them. You go, I don't know, like at school, you're going to lead some sort of class at some point in time, right? You play soccer, you play basketball. Like at that point, you always lead, in my opinion. Maybe not at the level, not everybody's built to, you know, to lead at a level that, you know, you may be referring to, like in terms of scale, I guess. That's what the question kind of goes to. But I do believe that anybody, everybody at some point in time does lead with, I don't know, with an action, with helping somebody. Like every time, like think about it, when you help somebody achieve something, you lead that person. So for that person, you are a leader, right? Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter what, as long as it's, you know, a good thing that leads to. And then what steps, and if you don't have a leader, what steps do you take? You think about what you want to achieve, and then look at the people that already did it. And at that point, that person becomes the leader that you want to follow. And you're going to be able to kind of model, right? Whatever that person does, you model it too. Not steal it, not, you know, replicate it, whatever. Like from a positive standpoint, you can model what that person does, so you can, you know, so you can get the same results or similar results.
I think leadership is always just a choice. You see something you don't like, you're unhappy with the way things are running, and you can either just leave it as is, or you can decide to step up and rally people and try to make a difference. You're not a leader until you are. You know, like you're not a YouTuber until you make a video, and then you are. You're not an athlete until you get into a race, and then suddenly you are. And to Marion's point, it's not only about leading a giant movement or you know, running some huge company. It starts with leading yourself. Like, how good of a leader are for you? If you say you're going to drink a giant jug of momentum water every day, do you do it? Right? That's self-leadership. I mean, most people don't even lead themselves well enough. And you can only help other people to the extent that you've gone through it yourself. Like if Marion really struggled to get a hold of his, you know, drinking habits for water and wasn't staying hydrated, now he's kind of fought those demons, went through the struggle of self-leadership, and now he's nailed it. Now he can teach other people how to do it. But if drinking water is super easy for him, it's actually difficult for him to be a great leader at it because he never went through the struggle of having to do it. And so you see something you don't like in the world or in your life or in your family, and you fix it for yourself, and then you start fixing it for other people as well. And all of a sudden you're a leader. That's it.
Fighting the demons.
That's the whole game, man. It's the whole game. It's the best.
Coach Prestano asks, what platforms do you use for sales funnels? So I use ClickFunnels and Introvert. Introvert, it's a little more, not a little, like way more advanced for like super complex campaigns and a lot of, if you click this, but this didn't happen and the other thing didn't happen, and today is 8 a.m. on Eastern time, then do that. So like super complex stuff, it's Introvert, but 90%, 95% of the times it's ClickFunnels because it's easier for clients to implement it. It's easier to share work with other people, especially in a done with you format. So for example, if I want to share a book funnel with one of my clients, I can just share the funnel, they'll import it, and then they can change the logo and colors and stuff. So yeah, that's what I use. And Evan, I guess you use ClickFunnels only, right?
Yeah, I use ClickFunnels. I'm trying to move my whole operations to ClickFunnels. My website, my homepage already is ClickFunnels. Not all of my landing pages are ClickFunnels yet, and I want to be able to move my email system to be all ClickFunnels too. So every email sequence, I've got thousands of emails in a sequence, in different sequences, thousands, and they have to all be moved one by one, which is a giant pain. So there's a bunch of, like, even the sharing, we won, yeah,
Boom, yes.
we won. Marion gets the winning record on the day. Look at that, 2-1 on the day. I love it. I love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. We made it happen. So I think ClickFunnels makes a lot of things easy to use. Like if you don't know how to do a website, you can just start up in ClickFunnels. You can load up a whole bunch of recipes. You can leverage tools that have already been made that you can just launch. So if you know how to use Word and PowerPoint, you can kind of figure out ClickFunnels relatively quickly. There's a little bit of setup to make it happen on your back end. I think a lot of the sharing capabilities and integration is still weak. I mean, I know the ClickFunnels. I was hanging out with them in Puerto Rico last month, and I said, dude, how do I get my emails over from Aweber? It's like, yeah, there's no way. Like, it's manual. There's no way to do it right now. Sharing funnels is okay, but still, like, if you're used to Google Docs to share things and collaborate, it's not that. There's still a long way to go. The email automation, yeah.
No, but to this point, yeah, that's actually perfectly true with like merging from another platform to it. But if you like, let's assume you have the emails in Actionetics, because that's what is the email autoresponder. It's not
changed it.
the
It's
best,
not that anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, but the cool part of it is, like, let's assume you want to share the entire funnel with the emails. You can actually share the entire email sequence with the whole text in it, with all the links and the photos and all the rest, to another account. So I guess not necessarily for you to this matter, because you wouldn't necessarily share it with any team members, but it makes my life easier if I want to share like a full thing with somebody else. And I already have, let's assume I already have an email sequence for the webinar, then I can just share it with them. It makes it easier. But yeah, merging from another platform, it's a headache.
It's a train wreck. And there's some other annoying things in there. What was the other one? Products. Like if you're copying a funnel over, it doesn't bring the products over too.
No.
For some reason, I don't get that. Anyway,
it's because of the payment integration. Because it kind of doesn't make sense, to be honest, if it's within the same account. But if I would create something in my account and share it with you, it wouldn't make sense to create a product. But if you share it with yourself, that's weird that it doesn't recreate the funnel. Yeah, like if you have a book and you want 10 different URLs for different cities, let's say.
Well,
you have to create.
How about my tour, dude? My tour. We had 22 cities planned this year. 22 cities, and in each city you could buy 10 packages, something like that. 11. I forget how many options. Let's just say 10 for easy math. So like you can buy one ticket for yourself. You could buy a ticket for you and 2 friends. You could buy a 10 pack, which also included, like, there are all these bonuses. If you wanted me on your podcast while I'm there, it's X number of tickets that then you have for your friends, right? And each ticket also came with a book. If you want me to have coffee with you, like there's all these bonuses. Like you buy X number of tickets, you get all these books and bonus. So 10 packages times 22 manually, adding each one in one by one. It copied over the funnel and so we could change over. Cleveland became Miami. Awesome. But all the products you got to add in manually? Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. But I mean, every software has their own issues. I still like ClickFunnels. I'm still trying to move my entire operation over to it. and it's great. That's how Marion and I met. So we have this relationship because of ClickFunnels.
I was about to. Yeah, let's go.
Well, that's it. We're done. Unless you have final thoughts.
Oh, we're done. Oh, you done? Okay, cool.
I'm done. We won. That's 3 games. We did it.
I forgot that it's 3 games actually. I got caught up with stuff. Sweet. Okay, so it's perfect. It's the first time that you win, right? With
2-1. That's our best. That's our winning record. Yeah. So take us out. Final thoughts from Marion. Wrapping this whole day up today. What's your final message for Believe Nation?
Final thoughts. So number 1, well, it's Believe Nation. So you have to believe in yourself, right? Like, it doesn't matter whoever, whatever situation or whoever person will say to you, believe in yourself because it's possible. You can make it happen. We'll go through whatever is happening now. Don't focus too much on the negative side of it as high as it is. Focus on you can do what you can have an impact on, and get prepared for the next wave to have your business where it should be. So believe in yourself. It's possible, and can't wait to see you guys next week.
I love it. Thank you, guys. Believe.
Thanks for having me.
See you soon.
Take care.